1.
Welcome to the Templeton. Now, okay. Welcome to the Templeton Zoning Board of Appeals meeting. The date is Tuesday, May 16th, 2023 at 6:30 p.m. We can all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, I'd like to start the meeting by acknowledging a couple of our past members that have resigned. One being Rick Moulton and another being Ron Davin. They both served on the committee for quite a while and just want to let them know we appreciate their service. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Dittos to all of you guys and the support staff that make this meeting possible. Takes more than one, that's for sure. We're here to talk with Mr. Robert Hager. I think I pronounced that correct. Hager, okay, that's better. About a special permit he would hopefully garner from us. Do you want to, or do you want to read the legal? She's got to read the.
To all persons deemed interested, a public hearing will be held on Tuesday, May 16th, 2023 at 6:30 p.m. or as soon thereafter as the agenda allows in the conference room at 160 Patriots Road, East Templeton, before the Zoning Board of Appeals, acting under the Templeton zoning bylaws, section 300-19B, non-conforming uses, for a request made by Robert Hager of 148 South Road for H and H Arms for the sale of firearms and ammunition to consider a special permit for a non-conforming use in an RA2 zone. Number 1, change or substantial extension of use. 2, change from one non-conforming use to another, less detrimental non-conforming use. All interested parties who wish to be heard shall be heard. All relevant documents for review are located in the Office of Development Services, 160 Patriots Road, East Templeton. For further information, please send your request to lvita@templetonma.gov. David Smart. You have the applicants, if you would come to forward to the microphone. And let the DBA know why you're here.
Well, good evening. I'm here. We have a current business that, thank you.
Sorry.
That, we operate as a distributor of abrasive products from Norton Company, which is now Saint-Gobain, and other manufacturers of abrasives. But we're a small business and I have a federal firearms license and a state permit also, which I've had since 1991. And I think it's in the packet. I don't know if you gentlemen had a chance to look at the packet or not. So, so I get checked by ATF and federal, the local law enforcement as surprise checks, and I've never had any issues. So that's why I'm going for since we own the building, I was seeing if I could do that as a sideline business. I'm a one-guy operation. It's not going to be, it's a very, very part-time thing. Mostly the guys I shoot with at the Sportsman's Club, because I'm an avid clay shooter. So that it would be to sell ammo legally. You know, most of it is getting into the like clay target shooting over and under shotguns and things like that, but it's not going to be a big impact on the neighborhood. It's going to be extremely part-time. It's almost like a concierge dealer that people would come to me and say, this is what I'm looking for. I wouldn't have hundreds of guns on site or anything like that, like you'd go to a typical normal gun store. So I just want to be able to maintain my license and sell ammunition too that goes with those firearms that I would sell, and any peripheries, you know, ammo pouches that you'd use at the range when you shoot around a skeet or clay targets or something like that. Shooting vests, if somebody wanted them, I could acquire them. Again, I wouldn't be stocking most of that stuff at all, so it would just be more of a special order. So I don't know if that covers what you need to know, or if you have any questions, feel free to fire away, no pun intended.
No, I didn't bring my gun. Well, it sounds pretty straightforward. You're actually asking to add a business on top of a business is already in that facility.
And it sounds big, you know, adding a business, but you're looking at it, so it's not, you know, it's.
Well,
it's
we have
not
to,
Walmart walking in there. So,
right, we have to review it knowing that you could
Yep.
sell this place tomorrow and we're stuck with our decision of whatever we let you do, the next guy.
Okay,
So we have to make our decisions accordingly.
okay,
There's more to it than just looking at you
Yep.
and say, it's all for you.
okay.
Because, you know, it's big picture, what we look at. We don't make harsh decisions.
I'll tell you
I
up front,
don't-
I'm not planning on selling the place.
Hmm.
But things happen. I could
You
get
never-
hit by a car on the way out of
Never
here.
know. No, but that's one way we make our decisions is it's a decision, it's done.
Right.
But the next guy, whoever owns that property, that goes with that property.
Okay.
It's nothing personal on you.
No, I take none of
Don't
it
take it
personally.
personal, huh? So,
I wouldn't, don't worry.
Yeah, I feel the biggest problem is, first of all, you're on a non-conforming line. To begin with, and you got a business on it. So you're asking us to put a second business on a non-conforming lot. Which,
The business we have isn't, we aren't a retail business like,
but it's still a
Still a
business,
business.
it's still a business, you're registered with the town, you have built permits and everything else, so it is a business. So the problem is the second business and we're sitting on a non-conforming lot. And I know we've had a few cases in the past that have come to us and we've had, you know, be honest with you, we've had a problem with it because it's two businesses in one. And how would you even break up this business to keep them separate from one from the other?
The
They can
book-
have a separate entrance, you know,
no, the books are separate. I mean.
well, I know the
you're
books will be separate, obviously, but.
But no, I mean, we're not a high volume on either one. Are we a high volume business? If you wanted a separate door, we could. We have other doors over there that we could use as a separate entrance if you needed us to do that. So that are, you know, man doors for going in and out. I mean, we have overhead doors too for shipping for the other part of the business. But again, that's not a big, it's not like we have trucks coming in daily and going out daily. You know, so it's just really a supplemental business to add a little more revenue. So
Can I ask a few questions for clarity? How many square feet is the building?
I think it's about 1,700, around 1,700.
Oh, really? Looks bigger than that to me.
Well, yeah, in the
Looks
back,
pretty big.
I don't know, that's what they,
Deceiving.
yeah, it is deceiving. I do have
It's
I-
all
I
broken
do
up.
have this if you want to see it. I don't know.
I have it.
We have that. But that is.
I think-
size.
I think on the tax bill is what it said, if you add up the two, that it, the building itself is about total 17,000.
Okay, 17,000.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I thought you said 1,700.
Oh, I'm sorry, 17,000,
Yeah,
my
let's see.
mistake.
Yeah, that makes more sense. How much of that is used for your current business that you?
Mostly, if you look on the chart, or not the chart, on the drawing.
Book, yeah, drawing plans.
Find it.
If you, I don't know. if you have it in
Yeah,
front of
we
you.
have it right
If
here.
you look on the drawing, this is South Road. This is the parking lot. So if you came up from South Road, like from the police station.
Mhm.
This is the main offices are right here. This is a dock. This section,
I don't have them in this one.
I can give you one if you need one.
No, I'm all set, I got his.
Oh, okay.
Can you show me what you just?
Yep. So.
Yeah, I see
You
that.
can't-
I've
This is
seen,
the
I
warehouse.
may have grabbed the wrong packet.
And this is where the trucks would back in. If you're looking from the front of the building, if you're familiar with it, it's a
Yeah, I am.
loading ramp that
Yep.
goes down.
You don't
So-
use that. You don't
Yeah, we
the
use-
front, you use
Yeah.
that.
No, we use that loading ramp to load 18 wheelers, you know.
Okay,
And
right.
take product in. And then all of that is stored in racking systems in here.
In the warehouse
And then-
area.
Yeah, which would be
That's, sorry,
the 40.
and you'll get it on that one. I grabbed it wrong.
Yeah. What part would you propose the gun? That would be
Well, if you look at it would just be in the office areas. All I
in the
need
office,
is,
that small areas where the gun,
there's
sales
like,
and stuff would be in storage and stuff.
yeah, it'd be in gun safes. Everything's locked up.
So it's that
Yeah,
small area there is where you would conduct that gun business and storage of all.
just part of that business, just part of that area.
Right, not even the whole office,
No.
but that's where you wouldn't have like, tanks and
No, no.
jet fighters and the other stuff.
I don't have those permits yet. No, I'm just kidding. No, I don't have the permits, nor am I going for those. but
Right, just so I get an idea of, if you're gonna do it, what we're.
Yeah, no,
we're
no,
Restricting it to.
no,
That's
I
a big help
understand.
to be able to, you doing it, you're gonna stay small and you
No,
don't need 17,000 square feet.
I
to be
do
selling
not. No,
guns.
that's primarily for the abrasives, because on the abrasive side, a lot of the abrasives we sell are loose abrasives, so it's like you buy sand and sandbags or fiber drums or, so you need. They're on pallets that might weigh anywhere from 1,000 pounds to some of them upwards of 3,000. So that's why we needed the dock for that. And a lot of it, most of that is just, we're kind of like we are a distributor. We buy it from the manufacturer, sell it to the end industrial user, like LS Starrett down the street or
How long you been there for?
something. 10
Approximately?
years, approximately 10 years. I think we bought it in 2013.
Oh.
And I'm
Where,
not
where
sure.
have you been selling guns then?
Just, I,
What location?
out of Boylston before.
Okay.
So, that's where our office was before we came up here. So I just keep the permits active and now I'm trying to get the
Mhm.
stuff going. So
And how long you been doing the guns for?
since 91, so a few years.
Mhm.
So, but I was not here, obviously. I was, in the old days, in the beginning, you could work out of your house.
Right.
So,
And are you restricting, your gun sales to pistols? You mentioned, hunting kind of guns? No, assault rifles?
by law, currently in this state, by law, you can't sell AR-15s or AK-47s or variants of
Not
them.
that familiar with the gun laws.
No, but that's, so you can't. Oddly enough, if you had one and you wanted to sell it, to him, you could do a private, yeah, you could do a private transfer on it. So, but I'm the guy that does the federal background checks on them
Right.
and I can't sell them. So.
In other words, if I wanted a pistol, I could come and get one from you. If I
As
wanted
long-
a shotgun, I could come get one. If I wanted a rifle at 30-30, I get one from you.
As
So
long as
no
they,
matter what you wanted. So in other words, to Alan for yours, whatever you want, he can order it. So
right,
he can get out, then like you said, it's out of his
No,
hands because
yeah.
that's not legal.
and anything, they also have to meet the Massachusetts Department of Public Safety criteria, which is different on top of the federal laws. So they have to meet the Attorney General's side and then the Department of Public Safety, which is 10-pound trigger pull on a semi-auto handgun.
So you don't plan on having any employees for this?
No. No, I do not. It's a super time, but I understand what you were saying
we're talking-
earlier.
if we-
But just so you understand
From
what
my
my
point of
side.
view, if I was to grant this, I'd want to, under this nature of the gun, being guns. For or against, I just think some kind of restrictions would be in order to. To even allow it, to make sure that it can't be something that can turn into. A major
That's
gun
fine,
dealership or something
That's
like
fine.
that. Because that's
I-
not really what we're talking about, what you're talking about.
correct.
So maybe the next person coming in says, oh, we have a permit, we can do whatever we want.
Yeah, no, I don't mind a restriction. I'm
That would be my thought.
just a
I don't
little
know-
guy.
And I don't know what that would mean, what I mean, what would that?
Whether
really-
or not it's even legal for us.
Well,
Right,
Yeah, I don't think
that's
we-
your side of the game.
I don't think
not
we
mine.
can. He's already regulated. He's
Regulated.
set what he can do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So. But my question is to you, Jess. Did the chief of police, did he give you anything in writing or anything about having a gun dealer in town?
Some kind of a money.
Has he, do you know if he's even been notified?
Yes, he issued a permit to me
I'm not aware.
and the copy was in the package.
Oh, he did,
Yeah, the
okay.
state-
I
To
I
give
did
you,
not see that. All right.
If I
I was
explain
wondering
it
if
to
he
you
had-
for a second.
I thought he may show up here tonight.
You have to get a federal license first, then the
Right.
state license. The federal license goes through ATF. State license goes through your local chief law enforcement officer. That's correct. Yeah.
Might be this last page.
You have all these licenses,
I do.
which would be.
They're-
Definitely be
yeah,
another
and they're in the-
requirement of.
Yeah.
Grandfather, obviously. That's
Yeah.
just trying to cover ourselves to make sure that we're
Yeah.
not overstepping our authority.
Federal
Right.
firearms.
Yeah, you can sell whatever you want, find out you can't because.
Yeah,
you're
no,
not-
I can't sell whatever I want. So the state and the federal government limits you to what you can sell. And because I know there's a lot of craziness going on in the world and misspeaking of what's the definition of what, and machine guns gets thrown out there. They're a whole different animal, even though the license, the federal license, which you have a copy of, I think, in your.
Yeah, you covered it, yeah.
And people
It
can buy
says-
guns and turn them
It
into
says
it.
machine guns. But you have to have a special license for machine guns. So even though that's on the federal document, it's kind of one of those documents that's got everything listed, but then you have to have the next step of paperwork to go with that to say you have a class 3 license to sell machine guns. I don't, nor do I want to. I don't sell, you hear pistol braces in the news now and then too, which is something that's like a stabilizer. So if you can take a handgun and attach it. So you strap it on so it makes you aim easier. I don't get into those. And ATF just made another ruling on those also, which is the federal side of.
What happens if down the road you want to do something different, that if we issue this thing and you can get permission from the state to do something with different weapons?
The ones that are currently restricted, no. So if you go on, again, the Department of Public Safety or the Attorney General's website, and look under firearms safety, there's lists of guns that are prohibited in the state. There's lists of guns that are what they have to do, like Smith and Wesson, since they're kind of local, if they introduce a new firearm, whether if it's a handgun, they have to submit the paperwork on that gun. They have to submit at least 4 guns that go to a state sanctioned facility for testing for gun safety before they can even make the Attorney General's list of an accepted firearm. So even though they're made in Springfield, kind of down the road, and they can be sold in other states around the country, the Commonwealth of Massachusetts does not allow that gun to be sold in this state until the state gives them that little paper that says, we can't, we say, yes, you can sell this. This passed all the safety tests, burns tests, drops tests, trigger pull tests. They have to have a live round indicator. So if you're familiar with guns, if you had a pistol, like a 1911 45 you see in the movies, there's got to be a live round indicator, whether it's a hole drilled in the barrel of the gun on the top so that you can see that there's a shell in that gun, or some have actual mechanical indicators that are usually painted red so you can see them. Some are tactile so that if you're in the dark, you can feel that spot and the chamber's got a live round in it. So, and in this state too, trigger locks have to go on guns before they go out the door. State approved trigger locks have to go on the guns. Although if you have a concealed carry permit, technically you can put it on your person and walk out the door, but.
One more thing,
Sure.
if your intent is to stay small, then you wouldn't mind some restriction put on to how many guns you can sell?
I don't think we can do that.
You can't do that.
I don't believe the
We have
board,
to have
the
that.
board can't put a restriction on that.
Really?
Yeah.
Because the next guy comes in, he's stuck with that restriction too, if we can impose.
That's kind of the idea.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, if the next guy comes in, just because he leaves, the next guy doesn't get the gun thing, you gotta have permits for that, like he has, of state and federal, so if he.
Not saying
leaves,
that, I'm saying-
He's done.
Oh, yeah.
Someone else comes in and
I-
wants a gun, they're gonna have to go
Right.
through just what he's
So
doing.
my licenses stay with me. So, I mean, technically, if I had a business to sell, which I don't, I mean, this borderlines on a hobby, but I'm just trying to get all the permits in line.
I'm just thinking about loopholes that we might be opening.
Sure,
ourselves up to.
I understand that. But as of the current date, who knows what happens down the road? But if I were to sell the business and somebody wanted to keep the name H&H Arms, I could sell the permits, but I can't just turn them over. You know, if you wanted to, he's got to go through all the application with the federal government, the state government, and then the town government too. So most likely it'd be like buying a house on a contingency, you know, we'll buy a house contingent on a home inspector coming in and make sure we're buying what we think we're buying. And the same thing, he's got to get cleared. So in other words, it prevents somebody that's got a felony background from coming in and just saying, here, you know, here's,
I'll take over.
yeah, I'm retired. It's yours now. You know, you can't do that. It's got to be, it's got to go through all the background checks. So, and all the guns I sell, with the exception of a black powder gun, go through, and you know, I don't know how familiar you are with the process, but dealers have to do a federal background check, which gets called into the FBI. So if you were to fill out, it's called the Form 4473. That you can either do it online through the computer with ATF or the FBI, or I call it in and say, you know, they'll just read me that they'll say, you know, last name of the person that filled out the thing, and you just go down the line, and then they do the computer check on that person buying the gun. And that's only one part of it. Once they say yay, nay, or delay, if it goes through with a proceed, then the other part is you have to have, even before you fill out the federal paperwork, you have to have the proper state ID, which is a license to carry, or in the Commonwealth, they call it license to carry. So, and they're usually class A's now. So, but I can't even let you handle a gun unless you show me. So I don't know if that answered all your question.
Well, yeah, kind of. My whole thought is about the future. So.
Yep,
But,
I
I mean,
get it.
guns have such a thing what's going on right now.
Right.
I don't, and the thing is, I'm ignorant to it because I don't own a gun. I mean, it just doesn't do anything for us. You know, I just don't have one.
Yep.
Thought about it a couple of times, but I'm not against them. I just don't have one. So I don't know, maybe about some things that I'm not thinking on, you know, making a decision on something like this, which is why I was thinking some kind of restrictions just to protect the town and the neighborhood to anything that might happen, because we said, yeah, okay to this, you know, down the line, not you,
Right.
even, you know.
Well, I
That's
can
all.
tell you only about myself, not down the line, but yeah, it's going to stay small. It is, and it's going to stay that way. So, but I understand your
So-
point.
That's our biggest concern. Right?
Yeah.
Even almost every decision this board makes,
Right.
we're thinking of the future. Okay, what happens?
Yeah.
After we make the decision, if something else goes down the road,
Sure.
we can't predict it, but we kind of got to look at it
Exactly.
that way.
And I understand that, but I just wanted you to know, I can't just turn over my permits if you were the one that wanted to buy it. You know, or just say, I'm leaving, you want to take it over, here you go. You
And
can't
there's
do that.
no way you could have like, I wouldn't want to have any kind of a shooting range
No,
there.
neither would
like
I.
that, or, you know, inside, and we're gonna soundproof it and all that
No.
stuff, and it's not gonna work.
No, not at all. So,
Now are you doing repairs there too?
no, I do no gunsmithing.
Okay. Then I was gonna say that you'd probably, if you did that, you'd have to test fire. So
Not
you wouldn't need a
necessarily-
facility
not
to
on the
shoot it.
premises.
Right, you'd have
Yeah.
to take it, yeah.
To a sportsman's club or something
Right.
like that, but no, I don't
just
do
wanna
any
make sure.
gunsmithing. You need another state permit to do gunsmithing also.
And we wouldn't have to say anything like, you have to lock up ammunition, you have to lock up, because you have to anyway.
That,
Already
correct.
regulated, yeah.
Actually, if you were to buy, you don't know, you know, you say you don't have any firearms. One of the things I have to supply when somebody buys one is a little piece of paper. Now, companies like Smith and Wesson and Ruger, it's built into the owner's manual, so I don't have to physically give them one, but they get the speech of that. By law, you're required to keep it in a safe place and a locked and secure place.
Yeah, I'm more concerned with you and somebody
Oh, yeah,
breaking into
no,
your
mine
place.
are in
And security
safes.
of how secure
Nope.
yours is.
They're in safes. They're all in safes.
They have to be, so in the ammunition.
They don't actually, oddly enough, they don't have to be,
Really?
and the building is alarmed too, so. Although I don't know if that should be broadcast, but oh, a little late for that.
Yeah.
So,
It's always nice to know,
yeah,
you know?
so it's but before people leave, they have to, I inform them that they've got to be locked and kept in a safe container position. And of course, when it goes out the door and goes into their house, who knows, again, it's like you're
That's up to
saying.
them.
That's
Once
them.
they leave the
Right.
doorway, that's your
You're covered.
responsibility is done.
Right. So. Does that answer what you?
Yeah, best you can, I understand. yeah. My one thought is something like this on this decision, should a lawyer just help us write something up on something if we were to say yes? Yeah.
We'd have to check with council.
Just because we want to word it in such a way that we're not, giving approval for something in a dumb way or,
In a roundabout way, give it an end gap.
Yeah.
You are the final user of this special permit, period.
Oh, yeah,
You go by, the permit goes by.
right.
Before that
It's a
facility.
great idea.
I don't know if that's legal.
Yeah.
A lot of the stuff we think of up here is out of the box.
Well, I
Because
don't
we
know,
try,
we're not lawyers.
we try to, make everybody happy, but not violate other people. The neighbors are here. I don't know if they'll get a chance to talk, but
Yeah.
we'll base our decision on something they may say. It's happened in the past and I know it'll happen in the future, but I'm pretty well set with my questions. If you guys are all set,
So we gotta open it up to the,
open it up to the
audience. If they-
people if you want to talk, Wayne, it's up.
Go ahead, Barry. All
Or
right,
Gary, yeah.
okay, so I live on 229 Hubbardston Road, but I operate the farm that my sister has up there where I keep my equipment and direct neighbors to him. I've talked to Bob a couple times. I've done a couple small jobs. I know a lot about the building because back when Fall Mountain bought it from whoever he bought it from, so that was a manufacturing place when we moved there in 1963 in the farm. So I put a substantial amount of additions on that over the years. And then the last two big ones, I had nothing to do, but I've done a couple things with Bob. I've talked to him. I know a little bit about gun laws and I respect what you guys are saying, maybe in the end, and I agree with that. So if any other questions you got for me, but I'm in full recommendation on him getting this. I know he's gonna keep it small, so. And I would be worrying about traffic and we're not, because,
Right. It's-
South Road's bad enough.
That ain't that bad.
They got a
Well,
good
it's new
road
up to
down
there.
It is on the corner.
Yeah, it
She
is.
has a fence and some trucks to prove it.
Yeah.
So,
Every year you gotta get it fixed, right?
that's right.
Somebody hits it.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Wayne.
You're kind of here to support him also. We don't have a problem with it. We want to hear a few things and, it sounds like a good idea.
Mhm.
Again, it's not gonna be, lines of cars there and people in and out. And sounds like everything's gonna be out through the front. We live on Dolbear Hill, which is kind of behind the shop.
He's been a great neighbor.
Yeah.
For all these years.
Yeah, since he's been there, we've had no problems or anything, so,
You're not rewarded with free ammo for.
We can't do that yet.
We'll discuss further later. No, we're not asking for anything.
How long have you owned the business?
State your full name and your address.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry, I forgot this. I'm new.
Yeah, we're just in the middle of.
16 Dolbear Hill Road.
I think he did say he was Mr. Young.
I
I'm
did
sorry, I was supposed to
my
say,
address earlier,
Yeah.
before you got here.
I'll try not to make too good.
It's okay.
So,
Mike,
You
I
have-
have a question. How long have you owned the business of Falco?
Harrison Hager was started, well, if you want, I'll give you a little background of where I came from. I worked for Norton Company.
Right.
I was the third generation with Norton Company in our family, and my dad left in 1981. He retired from Norton Company and ended up starting a distributorship, Harrison Hager, and it was primarily, we probably still primarily are
Yeah.
it's Saint-Gobain now, but
Yeah.
what used to be Norton Company. So I officially owned the business after my dad passed in 2015, but I've been working for Harrison. I worked for Norton Company for 13 years and Harrison Hager for 30 plus now.
Yeah. Now, your father owned that building before you did?
No, I owned the building,
Yeah,
so they, it's under Hager Realty.
yeah,
I'm the Hager, so.
Yeah.
So they, so that's been since 2013, and I apologize. I think it was the summer, but I don't know.
no,
exactly.
that doesn't matter.
So 10 years ago, you know.
So when you bought, Fall Mountain, it had been empty for what, a couple of years? or-
No, I don't think so, because they had
I don't think it was that
Well,
long.
here's
had
what
an
I'm getting at.
auction to
When,
get rid of the equipment.
when you bought it, you moved the business in there. Did you come before this board?
Yeah,
to
you
have
were
a
down, or what?
change in use?
It was down in the old,
Lilly
down-
Chemicals?
yeah.
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
down in there,
Yeah.
yes,
But you had to have it all changed over from
Right.
one to another.
right, and that went to in the Harrison Hager. But that was a contingency of the sale that,
Purchase, sure.
right, so that we, the guy was trying to get out quickly, but we had to wait until we got the letters and, go
Sure.
through the procedure because, we wanted to make sure we could move the business.
You didn't come before this board. When you got your business, you just had to go before,
Oh, I don't know. It was a board down in,
yeah, we're all there at
Maybe it
one
was a
time.
planning board. was
Yeah.
it?
I don't know. It might have been,
The plan, it had to be the planning board, because I don't
because it
remember.
was a big board too, I think. It
No,
was,
that wasn't us.
It would have been a select board, I would think.
Yeah.
well, maybe that's what it was.
Originally.
I don't think it was us. But I don't remember it.
The first page of your packet, Mr. Hanks, the building commissioner's letter.
Yep.
The second paragraph. The existing business is currently operating under a special permit issued by the zoning board due to the property being.
And then we did.
We did. Oh, even on the board.
25 years, that's why I'm wondering, I just don't remember this one. I've been on for about 25 years, so
Thank you very much.
I'm sure
Yeah.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
that's just one of.
Thanks
the-
for your input. Appreciate
Thank
it.
you very much.
Yeah, take the small stuff. Cause we're gonna take down from them trees. So we did,
You could always.
whatever I can.
Yeah, you came before us. I just don't remember it. It's been,
I'm an easy guy to forget.
Huh? Well, I've been on the board for probably 25 years, so I would remember, I
think there were other
remember
people
being
that
over
night,
there,
too.
so.
How much acreage is?
Oof, I don't know offhand. It's not much.
No,
The
it's not.
building's kind of
Bigger
pushed
than-
out to the
Takes
limits.
up-
It's, I think that the lot's all right. It's just that it's it's not
Non-conforming.
conforming because of the building.
Right. 0.6?
Thank you.
So that is non-conforming too, then.
Yeah,
So, all right,
It's pre-existing.
Yes.
that's pretty, yeah,
yeah. That's only in the half acre.
Yeah.
More than half acre.
all right.
This was the-
Yeah, 'cause there's only 30. The road's right here,
Hmm.
30 feet from the road. 13 from the boundary here.
Well, I'm not sure on my last proposal whether it will work that way or not. I'm kind of leaning towards that decision. The reason I'm saying that is because it would probably result in a continuing of this meeting to get our answer whether or not we can even do that,
Okay,
unless we go ahead and approve and say,
Subject to.
yeah, subject to being able to
oh, okay.
dissolve this when and the reason I say the legalities of it is because if you leave it in a will to somebody, where does that bring it? I would think that.
No, I think
As
it's.
soon as you terminate for sale or life or whatever, that ability for that place
Is existing.
dissolves.
Yeah, I have no problem with that. If you seek counsel and find out you can do it, but I don't have a
Yeah.
problem. So
I think
just,
we should change the
Mr.
council.
Chair, and this is
No,
Jay,
we don't.
you have a few options. You can make, a motion to approve and take a vote. Who would approve the special permit. You can also take a motion to continue this to the next meeting. You could set a next meeting date and you could, the development service office could answer those legal questions that you may have.
Mhm.
You could do many things, but if you feel that you don't have all the information, then you can contact town council for that advice.
I personally,
Feel free, I just wanted to let you guys have more than one option this evening.
I think it's pretty cut and dry what he has to do anyway, so he's got to set by laws. The problem is, and this is what I'm saying, I don't have a problem with you or your
Oh, I
business
understand.
or anything else like that. My problem is, like I had said earlier, we're on a non-conforming lot. You've already got a business on it. We're gonna want another second business. Now, we've already had a few come to us that we have denied because of this, and we set a precedent now. Nothing against this gentleman, like I say, but we could be opening a very big can of worms.
Especially when we got a case going on right now.
Well, don't worry about that one, but
Yeah,
we'll be looking at, people coming back after us.
I thought, excuse me, let me speaking. I thought of that too, and as a precedent. But I think the reason why there's a vote at all is because everything kind of stands on its own merit. And I don't think he's detrimental.
Oh, I don't think he's
Definitely.
detrimental.
no.
I mean,
And that's kind of a big part to me is how the neighbors feel about it, and you can see how the neighbors feel. And I don't see it being like a noisy place or.
well, it's not the case of the noise or anything. It's the second
Business.
business on a non-conforming lot, two businesses in one building. Just like the other.
Well, the point being that sometimes it might be okay and sometimes it might not be.
And what is,
Depends on. the
is that zone for business where he is?
The way I read it,
It says in the legal
Farming.
ad that it's RA2,
it says change.
Which is,
residential
Residential
agricultural.
agriculture,
and that,
Wait,
right here.
RA2.
yeah,
Right here.
but can they have a business there? I mean, I know this business was already there before the changing of the
Zoning.
zoning, but,
So
Less detrimental.
this Can be applied.
okay,
The building
Right.
commissioner.
What we're standing on.
all right.
They could change it, but is it less than?
Right here.
Page one of your packet. the
Yep.
building commissioner
I got it.
says
The other,
Business permit based off. of-
you're not following.
was,
Right, you know. Great.
Personally, I think we should do it. And if it
Change your
doesn't follow
situation
through,
should
then
be
it's risky.
changed from one non-conforming
Well,
to
yeah.
another less
I
than.
think we make decisions based on somebody else's. Fairness to somebody else.
We're in the middle of it. You know, a couple different things, so.
Well,
See, we gotta think about everything going on around us that we're deciding right now on other stuff. That will, change the course of the car.
well, what do you want to do? Do you want to postpone this meeting and,
Can't we, don't we have like 20 days to make a decision?
So the 20 days is the
Appeal.
time. that
Appeal
somebody
time.
Could appeal a decision.
Or do we have to make a decision tonight and not go to another
Make a
meeting?
Decision tonight. You have the option to make a motion to continue said hearing until next zoning board of appeal meeting. You have that.
You got a
option.
problem with a little delay? No?
Like
If you
I said,
You can vote now, but.
I'm I'm
Yeah.
very part-time in this thing, like
I
once a
don't see
month.
why not voting. I mean, I don't have a problem voting now. He doesn't have a problem voting. It's up to you guys, whatever you're the chair, so you
If
do what
we,
you think you'd want to
if
do.
I, say I entertain a motion to vote, I'll do whatever you guys make a motion want me to do. If somebody seconds it, of course.
Well, then I'll make a motion to vote on the gun shop for issuing a special permit. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
All right,
So, Mr. Chair, if you could please, after you ask for any discussion, if you could take a roll call
Yeah.
vote.
We're taking a vote to whether or not to vote. So are you wanting
Motion to vote to issue the special permit.
to vote for it?
yes,
This isn't the vote for it. This is.
yes, this is the vote for it.
This is the actual vote.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. All right,
Any discussion?
nobody? Anybody clean? Yeah.
You get a call by name.
All right, Dennis,
No.
Joe,
No.
Alan,
I go yes.
and I vote yes. Should have delayed.
I believe that they do not get it because there was not
It
a
has to be
majority of the
approved.
vote.
It believes it has to be approved.
Has to be a majority of the vote. All right, with that being said,
Pretty much it for that.
That's it. All right, well, thanks, guys.
Appreciate your effort coming in.
Listen, does it get a chance to
He,
reapply?
he can, I believe he can appeal our decision.
she can tell you what you need to do.
Within 20.
Period, appeal for at the town clerk's office,
Okay,
appeal the decision.
All right.
You are.
well, I appreciate your time. Thank you. Fine, so-
Oh, yeah, sure. Sure. Yeah, we can't.
Thank you
hold
all. Have a good evening.
Yeah, Mr. Young,
night.
take care.
Thank you.
Mr. Reese, if you would sign twice.
Yep.
Once above and then once below.
All righty. Here you go, David.
And Mr. Chair, if you would sign twice too,
Sure.
there's a spot for you on the right and there's a.
Oh,
spot
right
for
next
you
to
down
mine.
below.
The boss.
Just trying to make Lori proud, guys. Make Lori proud.
How's you feeling?
Thank you.
Sit.
Really?
Hmm.
And if you would sign on the right. there's a spot. This is for you, Mr. Chair.
Mhm.
For you. And you can continue with the agenda.
Okay, we are going to,
Review the minutes.
we are going to number 2, review the minutes of March 7th, 2023.
All right.
It may help you all if you want to go to page 3 of the minutes, right in the middle.
Yep.
Is really where the meat and potatoes were.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was real fun. I got these minutes.
Hmm.
all.
There's got to be a mistake in you.
Actually, it was all it was the 4 of us on this one too, so anytime you want to accept the minutes, we can vote on that.
I don't see anything wrong. Any of you guys?
Just make a motion for
I'll
accepting
make a
minutes.
motion. You do that and 72nd it and
All right. I'll make a motion to accept the minutes from March 7th.
I'll second it.
Yes.
Other questions?
Nope. Oh,
No omissions, no
Nope.
problems, no
Nope.
mistakes. It's perfect.
It is perfect.
My memory is perfect.
Okay, Dennis?
Yeah,
I
Joe?
say yes.
Yes.
And yes, unanimous.
All right.
Regarding the next meeting, I will relay all this information to Lori and our next meeting and reach out and consolidate. And we will make sure to put, well, I don't.
no,
So like the next meeting will be.
unless you,
as needed,
you're right.
Right,
as-
as it comes in, all right. Nothing's on the docket now. All right.
We'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Yeah.
All right.